Hey there, good people. Lea Mallett from the Bloom Crew here, Young Living leader and educator. And I just wanted to follow up basically the second part to my message yesterday, where I talked about how I was introduced to Young Living and my incentive for using their oils and what that looked like in my personal health recovery. And I realized this morning as I was going around my home doing the usual duties of, keeping things in order, doing my dishes and putting on a load of laundry and such, that I have I have literally switched my whole life over to plant-based and toxin-free. And that is a massive part of this puzzle as to why I believe that I've been able to maintain um, good health past having such a catastrophic health condition 15 years ago, that I was diagnosed with 15 years ago. So I've been in remission now for 10 years from an autoimmune condition. And I believe that it goes beyond just using a couple oils to correct that, which obviously they had a part to play. But another very significant piece of this puzzle has been, what else have I done in this life, in this home, to help my body not to be overloaded and to be struggling with toxins that it doesn't know what to do with. Well, that's a really important part of this conversation, in that your average person, until we're educated, you don't know what you don't know, right? When I looked in my cupboards 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and took stock of what was in there, I was your average person. I had Clorox or Lysol cleaners. I did dryer sheets in my dryer. I used Dawn dish soap or Palmolive dish soap, and, Sunlight laundry detergent. I did it all. And what I didn't realize back then was that every time I reached for something that was commercially purchased, that it was laden with chemicals and things that were basically overloading my body. And not only my body, but of course, the bodies of my family members, my loved ones, and ultimately anyone that came into my home. Well, that's your average home, right? Like I wasn't anything different or special. But it's something that's very important to talk about, because we don't realize how much this has overtaken our day-to-day life. And when you look at all the ingredients and take stock of just how many chemicals are in these products that we reach for daily, be it your personal care products, shampoo, body wash, moisturizer, makeup, deodorant or antiperspirant, the laundry soaps you use, the dish soap, the cleaners, sunscreen. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? That when you read a label and you realize that you can't pronounce mostly everything that's on the ingredient list. And first and foremost, at the end of most ingredient lists on commercially purchased products, there's something called fragrance. Well, of course it's there because people like to smell good, right? They like things to smell good. But what few people realize, and I think more people are starting to wake up to this now, but this is part of my education with the Bloom Crew, is I've got to be very clear here that there's a lot that we can do differently. And when you realize that fragrances are not something that's God-given or naturally derived, they are made with 100% chemicals. Did you know that any time you see the word fragrance, it actually is a combination of anywhere between 50 and 300 chemicals? And that there's an industry secret or leeway given to manufacturers that they are not required to divulge what those chemicals are, because it's their recipe. And so, if you want to put dryer sheets in your dryer so that your clothes don't stick together in the dryer and they smell good when they come out, and you're using dryer sheets, well, those chemicals, not only the chemicals to create the static cling, but also the chemicals used to create the smell are going into your clothes. And our clothes touch our bodies. So whatever goes on your body ends up inside your body. So if you're putting, forget the dryer sheets, if you're putting moisturizer or body wash on your body that is full of chemicals, especially in the shower where your pores are wide open, those chemicals are not staying on the surface of your skin. They are going straight into your bloodstream. Now, granted, God has given us a liver, and that was, an important part of creating us was this liver to filter out things. But the liver can only do so much. And when the liver is overloaded, it caps out basically. And a lot of these toxins do not make their way out of our bodies the way we'd hope they would. And then we wonder why we start to have health issues. And the health issues the list is long and wide. Anything from skin issues to breathing issues to digestive issues, headaches, endocrine problems. There are so many things that can go wrong with us when we are overloaded with toxins. And so this part of my experience in recovering my health has been a very, very crucial element in that I have, over the years, in my learning about how to better my health and to try and move away from some of the troubling health issues that I experienced, is that I had to start getting rid of some of these things that I had control over. Now, we can't completely go toxin free in this world. It's a very toxic world. It's just the life, that we have in this industry that, everywhere you turn, there is going to be chemicals in everything. But we do have a lot of control over a lot of the day-to-day things that we can change. And so that's where Young Living is just so incredible. And they're not only just about little bottles of essential oils that help with specific health issues, but they're about helping you to make the switch over to plant-based in almost everything that you reach for in your home. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. And this is something that you can't necessarily do overnight, but you can certainly do it on a steady basis, month to month. And that's what I did. That's what we did as a family, where when I started learning about, okay, that, this Young Living company, they're pretty cool. They have pretty well something for everything that is usable in our lives. That's personal care products or cleaners or you name it, even the supplements that they offer. You can replace, and we call it the ditch and switch. You can ditch the garbage in your home gradually and switch over to something that is 100%, not only 100% toxin free, but 100% good for you. And I tell you, if I'm going to use something in my life, I want it to be good for me. And that's where I'm at now, where I'm pretty diehard. You can't be 100% clean with everything, but I sure try hard. And if I can get it through Young Living, I will. So this is a really, really key part of recovering your health, guys. If you're really trying to make a difference in your sense of well-being, you need to take stock. I used to be an avid user of scented candles, especially when we were newlyweds and, trying to create that nice sense of home, putting the candles on and having that pretty smell permeate in your home. Well, I had no clue, absolutely no clue, that the fragrance in those candles to make that pretty smell was spewing 50 to 300 chemicals into the air every time I burned those candles. And so, and even Scentsy, I don't know, you're probably aware of Scentsy. I see them all the time at trade shows. Sorry to bash them, but that's just another bunch of chemicals masked in a pretty candle wax that you put in a melter and then it goes into your air. And yeah, that's a big deal. So what do I do now? Well, I use beeswax candles for one thing if I want to burn a candle. But I will more often than not, because beeswax, it's costly. I make them myself, but they're costly and they're very valuable to me. I will put on my diffuser. And Young Living is they're all about diffusing into the air and us experiencing these oils aromatically. So we can either literally open a bottle and smell from the bottle, or put it in our hands and then smell it that way, or we put it into a diffuser and let our whole family enjoy it at the same time. So diffusers are in pretty well every room of my home. No, they're not all going at once on any given day, but where I'm spending my time, that's where my diffuser is. I've got one in my office here. I spoiled myself to a beautiful Aria diffuser a couple years ago, and boy, I thought to myself, what's taking me so long? This is an amazing diffuser. It's so beautiful. But I've had a diffuser beside our bedside since the beginning, and I try to diffuse regularly at night because that's the best time that our body's repairing itself. I have diffusers in my kitchen. If I burn food, I tell you, purification is going in that diffuser, and it helps to detonate the smell of burnt food. I try not to burn my food very often, but it does happen. And anywhere, all the kids have ones in their room, and that's a big thing we reach for if we're feeling compromised and there's a cold bug going around and we're trying to fight it. We can usually pretty well stave it off if we get the diffusers going with thieves and RC and all the things, eucalyptus. There's just so many things you can reach for that are so beneficial to us. So we do have alternatives. We have amazing alternatives. If I want to slather my body, if I'm doing yard work and I know that next week I'm going to be planting my garden and I'm going to be in that hot garden all day doing that, well, my shoulders are going to be burnt if I don't do something. So I'm going to put sunscreen on. Now, do I reach for Copper Tone or do I reach for Young Living? Well, it's a no-brainer for me because I want Young Living's products on my body because they're going to be not only not introducing toxins, but they're going to be actually fortifying me at the same time. Kind of a no-brainer, right? So that's just how we've been kind of living our life now, in that we try and make good choices. We're not always 100% successful with being purist all the time, and that's just life where you have to, do your best with what you got. But I certainly have, when I look around my home now, and as I was doing my morning work and just opening up my cupboards, doing my daily duties, I thought, yeah, we have made the switch over, a long switch over. And I got to tell you this one little story, actually. It's kind of funny because, I've known this for a long time, having to read labels and everything. But I was a product of being duped by clever marketing a number of years back, about, I would say the first year when I was in Young Living, I had actually joined what's called the Loyalty Rewards Program because I realized that I loved their products. I wanted to experience more of them. I wanted to start doing the ditch and switch. So I joined their Loyalty Rewards Program, which is an optional program. But I really highly encourage it for every one of my members because it helps you to explore the products, switch your home over, and then of course stretch your dollars because you're amassing points that you can then redeem later. You're getting free oils in the process. It's really a no-brainer. So we joined the program years ago and I started to accumulate my points. And one of the first times that I redeemed my points, I don't remember how much I had in my little side bank account there, but I had enough points to get for sure a bottle of their concentrated Thieves Cleaner. And I know it was a long, long time ago because that cleaner was a dark brown bottle and they have long since changed it over to a white bottle. But that little brown bottle, when I got it in the mail, I thought, that's awesome. I'm going to put it in the back of my cleaning closet because you know why? I have all these eco cleaners that I purchased that I really should be using up beforehand. And, I was basically, I was not aware of how clever that marketing was because when I bought those eco cleaners, I was fairly new to the whole concept of toxin-free living, but I was starting to clue in that I should probably avoid some things like ETAs and parabens and, the kind of plastics that are not good for us, etc. So when they started marketing, all the clever terminology to that, it's this free and that free. Well, I thought eco cleaners were pretty good alternative to Clorox and Lysol and you name it, right? So I had these eco cleaners in my cupboard, and fast forward me a few years forward, and I found myself in a situation of we were kind of redoing our top floor of our home in our other farm that we were living at, and one of the rooms was my laundry room, and it was in dire need of a little upgrade. It was still very 90s. It had blue and pink wallpaper, and yeah, it was a little dated. So we decided to redo my laundry room. And first thing I had to do, obviously, was pull away the machines and do a deep cleaning. And we had lived there already for a number of years, so it was needing it. And I'm not my mom, who was really so good about pulling her appliances away and cleaning every year, and I just hadn't. So it was pretty nasty. So I thought, what a great time to use my eco cleaner. So I'm going to pull them out, and then I can get going on my thieves cleaner. So I pulled out these bottles of eco cleaners, and I got to spraying, soaking my walls and my floor. And immediately within the first minute, I started coughing. I'm not talking just coughing. I was hacking, and I was instantly, something is really, really irritating my lung tissue. And we had a carpenter in the other, just around the corner in my kitchen, and he called out to me. He goes, "Hey, Leah, whatever you got going in there, not good." I looked at that bottle of that cleaner that I was using that I was so convinced was okay for me, and I thought, oh my gosh, I know better. I have been so duped. And I took that bottle, I set it aside, and every other bottle that said eco or whatever on it, and I pulled out my little thieves dark brown bottle, and I cracked the lid open, filled it, that little lid, filled it with the concentrate, put it in a spray bottle, filled the rest with water, and I got to finishing cleaning my laundry room. And I never coughed one more time. Sometimes it takes people a little bit extra to get the point. But I knew better, and I hope to help fast track other people now, because I didn't have an educator to teach me these things. I was just kind of learning as I went, and I was duped by the good marketing. Marketing is all about selling products, and they're starting to figure out that people want to hear things that make them feel good. So I fell into that trap, and so those bottles never made it back into my laundry room, and I have ever since. I only use Thieves Cleaner now. So it's a very freeing and empowering thing to know that we have amazing alternatives that are not only toxin free, but really, really good for us. Like, I've literally thrown away my rubber gloves. I don't need them anymore. When I clean my home, I want my hands to be in that water. I want the good things that are in that cleaner to go into my body. Who does that? But that's my new reality, and that's the reality of all other Young Living members who get it. And I have a lot of members that they find me for the value of thieves oil. They want their thieves oil because it's that little magic bullet that helps to fight what. And I want to be able to shout to the rooftops, folks, there is so much more than thieves. I love thieves. They have a ton of products made of thieves. Yes, we use a lot of it. I've got thieves in my cart every second month because we use so much. But I also use a ton of other things that Young Living has that are equally supportive of my health and the health of my family. So, big piece of the puzzle. I'm really, really honored and privileged to be able to help educate you all in this area. I'm going to talk a little bit more in a future webcast about the loyalty rewards program and a few other things. I have a few things brewing in the background here, but I have a lot of blog posts too that cover these things. But I know sometimes people would rather hear it than read it, so you'll get it from both angles. But this is a time for you to really put your thinking cap on and try and figure out what you can do that's different in your life that will drastically help you and your family be healthier. And so enjoy the journey. I am so happy to be able to share all the things that I've learned with you. And yeah, just enjoy your day and enjoy the journey of learning and growing and experiencing freedom from the debilitating part of being sick that is just not God's design for us. We're not meant to be sick. We're not meant to be not feeling our best. So let's go and bless others and learn how to use his creation to the best of our ability and to glorify him through doing that. So God bless you, and we will talk soon.